Hey you guys, I thought we would do a video today, and the topic of this video would be the way our mood can affect our magic. And what I mean by this is the attitude that we have when we step out to do spell work, the emotions that we are feeling, the mood we are in. And before I start or go any further, I'm going to light an incense and cleanse our space just a little bit. And like I always tell you guys, no matter what you're doing, who you're doing it with, where you're doing it, if you are working on a spell, if you're speaking on the craft, if you're just simply, meditating, it does not hurt to cleanse your space, because there's always negative energy lingering, just looking for the right opportunity to wiggle its way in, the smallest little crack, the teeniest, tiniest thought of doubt. So always cleanse your space. You can use incense, you can use sage, you can use intention, you can envision a white light that is shining brightly around yourself, around your space. You can use bells, tuning forks. If you have nothing, you can simply will away the negative energy. Just speak out from the heart and, command this negativity that's around you to be gone, to leave. You can clap your hands. Just follow your heart. That's all you have to do, is follow your heart. And I'm going to leave the incense right over here in the background while we chat. And I've got what I call it's a Shamanic Quartz stone, and it's got quite a few uses, but the one that I use it for the most is during dream work, during meditation. But it's a great stone whenever you are doing any type of work in the dream realm. If you are trying to open up new doors of the soul, if you are embarking on a new experience, if you are trying to do some work in the spirit realm, it's a good stone for that. And I just thought I would bring it out because I feel like when we're talking about our mood and how it affects our spell work, that is opening a door to our soul, because our magic comes from within. Our magic comes from our heart, and that's the deepest part of our being, is our soul. And I just felt drawn to bring it out, so that's what I did, and I'm just gonna lay it here. But I also brought some salt, and the reason I decided to bring the salt out is, as you know, salt is cleansing, and salt is a good tool to use when you are trying to start anew. If you're trying to do some spell work, if you're trying to meditate, if you're trying to do something and you're trying to start new and fresh, I would suggest using salt to cleanse your area, to cleanse your space, to cleanse your tools, meditate with it, cleanse your aura, cleanse your mind, and not only that, salt is very protective as well. So I think that the salt is useful because when we're doing spell work, when we're doing any type of magic, whether it's dream work, spell work, spirit connection, meditation, any type of spiritual work, your mood is going to affect your work. It's going to affect your outcome. And when I was younger, I always let my emotions lead me rather than my heart and my mind. And what I mean by this is whenever I was angry, I would work a certain way. Whenever I was sad, I would work a certain way. And it took me a while to realize that just because I felt drawn to do something in a certain time, that didn't always mean that was the right way to do it or the right time to do it. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, when you're heartbroken, that's not a good time to do any love magic. When you have been, you know, someone has crossed you, that's not a good time to do any type of, you know, karmic magic. When someone has sabotaged you or stabbed you in the back, that is not a good time to do any type of magic, whether it be magic, light magic, dark magic, gray magic. I always say, unless it's an emergency, something has unfolded right then and there, there's no rush to do magic. If something is taking place and someone's in danger or someone's been hurt or harmed and, it's life threatening, yes, I would say, do some protective magic, do some magic to guide you, to help you see what you need to do, to, something maybe like some road opening magic, eye opening magic. But I never ever suggest using any type of emotional based magic when you're in a particular mood. And I know we can't all sit around and just be numb all the time. We're always in a mood, whether we be happy, whether we be sad, whether we're content. We're always in a mood. And so I know you can't not have any emotions when you do spell work, but what I suggest is always meditate, cleanse your space and meditate. And, if you can only give 5 minutes to meditation, that's fine. If you can give longer, give longer, because sometimes things will come to us right away. Sometimes we'll even know before we begin to meditate. We'll already know, because we'll know what's in our heart, or perhaps the goddess has already been dealing with us concerning a specific topic. But sometimes 5 minutes is all you need. Sometimes you may need 30 minutes. Sometimes you may need an hour. Everyone's different. Every situation is different. But I just wanted to touch on the basis of, your mood does affect your magic. Your mood does affect the outcome. And I guess I could lead by example. I guess I could share, a experience from my past with you guys. I had a friend, and we were young, and she was dating this guy, and she found out that this guy was seeing her and seeing another young lady, and this angered her. This angered her so much, and for whatever reason, she was directing all of her anger toward the other female and not the guy. So what she did, and I helped her, because not only did it anger her, but it angered me as well, because she was my friend. She made a sour jar, and I'm sure all of you know what that is. It's a jar you make, and it's almost a spell of revenge, I guess you could say. And I always say, don't use your magic for petty things. use your magic for things of light and love. And I'm a gray witch myself, so I can't knock someone else for the way they work their magic, because I myself, do dark magic as well, but I do draw the line at certain things. And we all are free to make our own choices, and I'm not here to judge, and I ask you guys not to judge. This should be a safe space to discuss our craft. But my friend, we sat down and she made a sour jar, and honestly, I don't remember all the ingredients that she used, but they were more or less the typical ingredients if you look up a sour jar. And I do remember the main ingredient for this sour jar was a picture of the young lady, and she put that in there. But before she did, she sat and she looked at that picture and she spoke out loud. And she put a lot of her intention into this jar, into this picture. And sad to say, her intentions were intentions of anger, of hate, of, seeking revenge. She wanted to hurt this girl. She wanted to break this girl down, and she wanted this girl to feel the type of pain that she felt. And because her emotions were, they were peaking, she was just so full of anger and rage that she made the sour jar. And I was sitting there, right there with her, so I'm just as guilty, and I felt just as much anger as she did, because she's my friend, and you don't want to see people you love hurt. And between the both of us, our intent was there. So she did this spell work, and she completed her spell. She put the jar under the cabinet in the dark, and she left it there for a few days. And on the last day, which was day 3, she was going to take this jar out and bury it. And that would signify, her intent would now grow. Well, before she could even take the jar out and bury it, we got news that this young lady had gotten a very bad car wreck. She totaled her car, she broke her leg, she was in very bad shape, and I immediately felt, so bad, because this is not what I wanted. I wanted her to feel pain. I wanted her to hurt like my friend did, but I didn't want her to be physically hurt. It was more of an emotional thing for me. But my friend, she was so hurt and she was so angered. She didn't specify. She was full of rage. And, that goes back to the old saying, always state your intention very clearly. And she didn't. She just simply put it into the universe that she wanted this girl to experience agonizing pain. And that is exactly what happened. And then after this, we dug a hole, we poured the contents of the sour jar out, we released the intention into the ground so the earth could neutralize it, and it would no longer be negative energy or good energy. It would just be absorbed by the earth. Everyone does these type of spells differently, but this is what I felt drawn to do. So as I always, tell you guys, follow your heart. And that's what we did. And after that, the girl healed. She was better. She left the guy alone. My friend left the guy alone. And from what we were told, this guy met another young lady, fell in love with her, asked her to marry him. They got married. And shortly into their marriage, he found out that she was cheating on him with his brother. He was heartbroken. He was, crushed. And, you know, my friend, she just ate it up. And like I told her, you know, I guess that's karma. And, you know, what goes around comes around. So we really did not have to even, you know, put our hand into the pot because karma was already there stirring it. But we were young, we were dumb, and we stepped out before we thought about it. And that was just an example of letting your mood affect your magic. And you know, I'm gonna wrap it up, you guys, because I've got some things I've got to get done. But I really wanted to make this video, and I really wanted to just put this message out there that, you know, your mood can and will affect your magic and the outcome of it. So even though I always say to follow your heart, you know, always stop and think. Never rush into anything, because what you believe, you will receive. And I hope someone out there resonates with this, and I wish you all much love. Bye, you guys.